What's up, guys? I just got home from packaging, had a huge weekend of sales, and I actually already released a video on UPS and FedEx shipping, but I just privated that because this news just came down. Mercari is adding back fees to sellers. If you know, I don't even remember how long ago it was, 8 or 10 months ago. It was earlier this year. Mercari took away fees for sellers and put some fees on the buyers. So anytime you sold something on Mercari, there were no fees. Well, recently they had some changes in leadership, so I assumed some changes were coming to things like this, and it did. So let's put this note up here and read it. We're rolling out a new fee structure starting January 6th, 2025, so effective January 6th. We initially introduced our current fee structure in March, and our aim was to make selling more accessible to sellers. However, while sellers got to keep 100% of their sale proceeds, sellers experienced fewer sales because items were less affordable for buyers. Personally, I actually probably did better on Mercari this year than any other year. I also have a lot more inventory, so I think it just depends seller to seller. And also depends on your pricing and everything. Yeah, you have to make things cheaper for them when there are no fees, but I could do that because when I sold something, I had no fees. But I've seen a lot of people that said that their sales were down, so I definitely can see where they're coming from. Just personally, I had pretty good luck with the no fees. All right, so our new fee structure: sellers pay a flat 10% fee, buyers pay a flat 3.6% buyer protection fee. So for sellers, a flat 10% fee applies to the completed item price and buyer paid shipping. So it's going to be including the shipping. So if you sell something for $10 plus $5 shipping, that's $15. It's going to take $1.50 out of that. We are removing the ACH direct deposit fee. So they're removing that $2 fee to send it to your bank account, which a bunch of people were whining about that. I'm like, I just let that thing build up to like $1,000 and then pulled it out, and that was the only fee. I was like, it's a flat $2, but that will be gone now. So anyone that was upset about that $2, you now are going to get that back. So hopefully you've been letting that accumulate, and wait till January 6th and let that hit your bank. And then for buyers, a flat 3.6% buyer protection fee applies to the completed item and buyer paid shipping. The buyer protection fee reflects the following: a cancellation and refund policy, returns on qualifying items, 24/7 support, trusted transactions. So that one's kind of mind-boggling. They're still keeping the buyer fees. Personally, if I was running Mercari, I would, if I was putting the fees back, I would just do them on sellers, because that's what other competition does. That's what eBay, Poshmark, they're not putting the fees on the buyer, and they have those protections in place anyway. So I think they may take that away eventually. They're still trying to get their 13 to 14% somehow, just by not putting that all on the seller. It's just, I still think when the buyer goes to check out and they see that there's a fee on top of the taxes and the shipping, that sometimes there's just going to be too much and they might not pull the trigger. So we'll just have to see. I'm not someone who likes to overreact to this stuff. I was pretty positive about the 0% fees, and it ended up working out pretty well for me. So I like to go off of physical data. So I'm not going to sit here and say this is doom and gloom. I'm not going to sit here and say this is great. I might just have to make an updated video here in a couple months after this goes into effect January 6th, and see how sales work compared to the 0% fees. So we'll just have to wait and see. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. And if you haven't signed up for Mercari before, you can sign up with my link and get like $30. There's money to be made everywhere, guys. Let's go get it. Thank you for watching The Millennial Prophet.